Arthur Kroeber and Dan Wang. Two names that sound straight out of a Harvard seminar, right? But don't worry, this isn't another boring economics lecture. It's a story about lawyers versus engineers. Kroeber is the big picture guy, the historian of the system. He looks at how China's gradual opening in 1980s didn't just join globalization, it reshaped it. Trade, finance, industrial policy, all rewriting in real time. When people say China opened up, they imagine a door, but it wasn't a door. It was a completely architectural project. The global economy got remodeled, and suddenly everyone else was renting space in China's building. He's fascinated by how the institutions changed. The IMF, the WTO, even the Wall Street, all adapting to make room for this new state-led player. Dan likes to talk about factories and machines, but trust me, without institutions, all the metal just sits there. Someone has to write the rules first. And that's where Dan Wang walks in, sleeves rolled up, probably holding a wrench. Wang isn't impressed by talk of systems. He cares about mechanism, what actually works.
You can't globalize on PowerPoint. You need engineers, welders, and managers who know how to make things on scale. That's why China can build a high-speed rail network faster than America can fix a bridge.
Wang calls it deep infrastructure, not just steel and silicon, but the human expertise behind it. He says that's China's secret weapon, not just policies, but competence at scale.
Arthur thinks institutions matter more than infrastructure. But you can take the train to the institution, my friend.
Together, they explain how US-China relations evolve from cooperation to rivalry, and why that matters for the future. Well, sure Dan, but without the international rules and the finance, your engineers wouldn't have the capital to buy their lunch.
Fair point. But when the lights go out, it's the engineers who turn them back on, not the lawyers who made the regulations.
So yeah, welcome to the world where American lawyers meet Chinese engineers, and spoiler alert, the engineers are winning.
Let's rewind to the 1980s. China opened up, the US broke the money and the know-how, and boom, globalization's power couple was born. Kroeber says China joined the global game through foreign investment, special economic zones, and cheap labor. Meanwhile, Wang describes it like a perfect marriage. Chinese engineers built the stuff, American lawyers wrote the contracts. In Breakneck, Wang even jokes that for decades, China produced while the US handled the paperwork. Pretty accurate, right? But things changed when Made in China 2025 showed up. China didn't just want to play the game anymore. It wanted to lead it. That's when Washington freaked out. Tariffs, sanctions, and a lot of finger-pointing. The honeymoon was officially over.
Fast forward to today, cooperation is out, competition is in. Kroeber says China is no longer the world workshop. It's now a geoeconomic powerhouse fighting for tech dominance. Wang points out China's edge in advanced manufacturing, electric vehicles, and renewable energy, all thanks to its deep infrastructure. Basically, a super efficient industrial ecosystem. Meanwhile, the US is struggling to rebuild its throwing tariff, sanctions, and the CHIPS Act into the ring. But Wang drops the best line ever.
The US is sending lawyers to a war of engineers.
He's a good point. China boils the US argues that's the new partial decoupling, not a total breakup, but more like an awkward situation. They are separated, but still share the same Netflix account.
So what's next? Kroeber and Wang agree that rivalry is here to stay, but it won't mean total separation. China will keep focusing on self-reliance and innovation, while the US needs to stop trying to slow China down and start fixing its own house. We're heading into a multipolar world, no more single global boss. Now we've got BRICS, Asia, and even Latin America shaping the game. Basically, globalization 2.0 is being rewritten. And who wins? Probably both, one with engineers, the other with lawyers. Let's just hope next time Washington brings an engineer or two to the fight. Kroeber and Wang show how international relations and international business are completely linked. Governments shape markets, and politics drives business decisions. China's rise in electric vehicles proves how deep infrastructure, like factories, tech, and engineers, turns policy into power. And that's why this question is important for us, the international business students. We are not just studying theories. We are learning how the trade rules, the investments, and the innovations are acting in the real life. This is globalization in motion.
We combined Kroeber's macro view with Wang's structural focus, using data on China electric vehicles push and US sanctions to show how international relations affect international business.
Working together was fun.
We achieved to connect theories that we saw in class with real-life cases.
And also we took advantage of every ability from each member to the teamwork.
It was a very nice experience.